Welcome y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is Ultra. We are on PMR, Project Motor Racing. So I want to talk about this a little bit before we kind of do anything. Probably do like one race or something like that, or mess around a little bit. But the UI that you see and everything, where it says multiplayer, single player, and all that, that's not what the game originally looked like. That's due to the new update they had. I think it was 2.0005, and so that brought in a new UI and everything, improved tire wear, improved tire models. Still have there still has a little buggy here and there, but they're working on it, and I have to say it's getting better. I really say it's getting better, and this is something I'm going to be following. I'm going to stick with. I had a friend of mine that was possibly saying that, well, if I didn't like it, that I could return it, and get my money back. Well, I decided not to do that because I do want to follow this game. Because it is made by Giants, and also made by Turn 4. Now, Turn 4 are the ones behind Project, or I'm trying to think of it now. Is it Project Cars? Yeah, I believe it was Project Cars 1, 2, and I think they made a third one. So they're the ones that did that game. So they basically partnered with Giants, and this is what we have. So let's hop into this and see how this is going to go. Now, career in this took me by surprise. When you start career, in fact, I'll go into it. This is the one I started beforehand, but let me just start a new one so I can kind of go through it. So it says, welcome to the professional motorsports. This is about a single race or a single season. It is about winning 15 championships in the world's toughest classes. Every decision matters. Every mistake has a cost. Run your team, manage your budget, choose your class and cars, and select your sponsors. And then prove yourself there where it matters on the track. Win 15 gold trophies and build your legacy. Now, when I read this the first time, I was like, what? Okay, what am I getting into, is my thought. Then I went to this screen. And what is the first thing that popped in my face? Was my YouTube icon. I was like, that is cool. So yes, bring me more of that, is what I was thinking. So basically, you can make your team name, and then the driver name, and if you're in North America, Europe, or wherever you may be. So let's go ahead. I'll just make the name that I had before. Because there's another thing in here that I need to explain. Let's see, hold on. And then we'll just Ultra. All right, Ultra Productions, Ultra. Yep. Okay, and North America. All right, so here is where you have to make your first decision. Your first decision is your career experience. Now, Authentic is a pure, uncomprising career. Race restarts are disabled, and AI difficulty is locked for a maximum challenge. Mistakes have lasting consequences. Only those who can win 15 championships will earn their place in the Hall of Fame. Now, with that being said, this line right here where it says mistakes have lasting consequences. Now, if you say that you get pushed off track, you get in a damn accident, and you wreck your car, you're done. That's it. Start over. You're done. It's that. Okay, how can I explain what I mean? When I was playing iRacing, I always felt that urge of urgency. I needed to con myself, work my way through the pack, drive like I would if I was driving the car for real. This is going to do the same exact thing. Or you can do this. You can go to Classic. A more flexible career experience race restarts are available and AI difficulty can be fully customized. Ideal for drivers who want to control over a challenge and the freedom to refine their experience. So in other words, you can redefine the settings however you want it to be, this and that. You can do restarts over and over and over. I think cars will be cheaper in here. So if you was to go Classic or Authentic, let's say we go Authentic. When I first did this, I was like, okay, so they start me out with $650,000. Then I didn't really think about it right away, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, I can start out with $2 million or $1,000. So however you want to go with this. Now, I think if you start out with the $2 million, because what's going to happen is, okay, before I get to that thought, you have other sponsorships. It's right there. I don't know why I wasn't thinking. So you have other sponsorships, but you need to take into account what these sponsorships are going to do, because some are going to cost too much money or more money. Some are going to be a little bit cheaper when it comes to buying your first vehicle. This one here is pretty popular. So if we was to go with Blackbird, front the cost of your championship and entry fees and return their take a cut of your prize money as the seasons end. It's your way onto the grid. Now that's another thing too. It does matter. I think it does matter in which one you pick. It's like this one here. No strings deal built on exposure. You're paid at flat fee per race based on the prestige of your car, regardless of where you finish. Results don't change the payout. This is the safest and option for drivers who want to steadily predictable income across a season. So it does matter what sponsor you go with. You're going to have entry fees. So if you was to go with them, say you're going with Spark, okay, so you're going to confirm that. You see everything is right here. 100% difficulty. You can adjust that. If you want to, you can go back in here and I think you can adjust that. Oh no, I can't. I'm in the other career now. If you could adjust that if you were in the lesser career, where it would be easier. So you check everything up and then confirm, and then just I want to confirm that. So now you want to buy a car. Okay. So you're starting out with $2 million, whatever, and you're gonna have to get a car. Well, so that's fine and dandy. But I like this concept. I think it's a good concept. I think it's a good way to go about it. Let's see. Do I want what? Let's see. So it's not letting me back out. Now you have other classes. Some of these are going to be locked. Let's see. So you have that's the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup. So that's part of the GT3 series. Do you have the Ford? Dude, that's $747,000 for that car. That's $270,000, but that will put you in. So what you probably would GT4. Ooh, that's nice. 911 Carrera Cup. The MX5 spec. Now these MX5s, when you do the road course events in iRacing, this is what you start out with. Switch. If you've done that in any kind of way, these are really nice cars to start out with. So I think that's where, if I was to do this career here, I think that's where I'd start out with. It's 61,000. Now I think I did put in a mod. By the way, that being said, I'm going to confirm that, and then you can pick different paint schemes and what you might like out of what you have here. I kind of like this blue one here, this one, but I like the black and yellow too, so we might go with that. Alright, so we're going to go with that. Alright, so next event calendar, entry fee, it's not giving it to me just yet. So we go to event calendar. So you have United Kingdom MX5 trophy, the US MX5 trophy South. Let's see, does it give me, and this is your money that you have left over, so you have 1,938,800. So, and then you can register for this one, which is going to see the event purse is 157,000, entry fee is 10 grand. So you're going to have to spend $10,000 to get into that one. All right. So we start out in Daytona, Sebring, Lexington, and Sebring again. So probably Sebring the opposite direction. Mostly that's how they do that. But what we're going to do right now is I'm going to retire from this. Back all the way out. Okay. Now, I first said to myself when this game was announced, when they started talking about it, even before it even came out, I thought to myself, okay, well, if it's Giants and they got their hands in this, are we going to have a mod hub? That was my thought in my head. Are we going to have a mod hub? So I got on here, I was looking around, I was like, okay, well, I guess they didn't do the mod hub thing, I'm thinking. Then I went to downloadable content just to look. And here you go. Here's your mod hub. So basically, you have different categories, which you have installed. I have this one here, the Mazda MX-5 V8. That's installed. You have different packages that you can do. That's going to give you newer cars. It's going to give you other cars and stuff like that. Some older cars, like this right here, it's 1987 to 91 liveries for those cars. You have top rated, latest, most downloads right now. This is what everybody's downloading right this moment, by the looks of it. So if I go back to category, here's the thing that caught me. Just right here, vehicle setup. If you have problems with setups, this is going to be probably a lifesaver. Let's see. Let's go to. Does it even have it? Okay, let's. No, go back. Vehicle setups. Yeah, see that they'll have more as it goes along, but I think this is all we got right now. I was hoping that I could see a setup here for that MX-5, but let's see. Let's look at the GT4 setups. Okay, a collection of GT4 baseline setups by SimRacer Xbox One Kenobi. The setup will be updated as needed and evolve with the game. That's cool. The base setup is intended to be a good all-around setup. I use it as a starting point for most track Specific setups may require you to tweak pressure depending on the time of day due to the track temperature and differences. Once they are warmed up, the optional tire pressure for the setups using the dry and hard compound is 1.8 bar, 26.1 psi. Front is 1.9 bar and a 27.55 psi in rear. Not bad, but could be better. Base setup for all GT4 cars. Alright, so that's cool that it's a base setup and it's not just... Let's look at a different one. So this is your Japan 94 series. There's a collection of baseline setups. So I guess maybe they're just doing... I guess they're all baselines. I'm not really sure. Now I would try one of these setups, but I'm not seeing the cars I would like to have a setup for. Not at this time, I'm not. Latest, most. Okay, this is all to like all download, all mods. So you have High Rock Circuit. I've heard of it. Looks nice. Now to run this game, I have a RX 7600 graphics card, and you know, I think it's like a i5 processor. And this game, for me, with that being said, let me go to settings. I'll show you right quick. Graphics. I am maxed out on graphics. I mean, literally. So let me go. If I go to advanced, I'll say you got. I'm ultra all the way down. This is straight out of the box. Game runs perfect. I have not had any issues. There's no crashing, no nothing. It's just fantastic. It's like me bringing up Farm Sim and it just works. So I love that. I couldn't ask for anything better. Now I have one pet peeve with this game. One tiny little pet peeve. This could be just the American in me, but if you, let's say you get forced off the track, let's say you're 3 wide and you're in this, you're the one that's on the outside and you got 2 on the inside and you get forced off the track. Okay, well, if you get forced off the track, you get a penalty for that. You get penalized for something that you did not do. If your tire comes off the track just off the concrete and hits the grass a little bit, you're penalized immediately. Penalty. I have a bad issue with that. I think that is unrealistic, for one thing. Now granted, these type of races have penalties. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But don't penalize me for something that I didn't do or wasn't my fault. So I really think that's one of the areas I believe that they need to look at and fix. I did put in a few things that I seen that I think that needs to be fixed for the next update. I did do a report on it. I sent it to them. We'll see. I don't know. But they are making big strides in the next update, so I'm kind of excited about that. It's going to be awesome. So let me just we'll go single player, and we'll just do a normal race here. No big deal. This track here is Lime Rock Park, and I will get into a race here, and I'll be quiet while we're racing, and when we get done, I will give you my final thoughts on what I think. Is this game worth your time? Only time will tell, I think, maybe. But I'll give you my final thoughts on here in a moment.
26.
Alright, I'm going to stop that right there. Now, I am going to say this. If you want to play this, it is on sale right now. I think I paid like $40, maybe $39.99, I think it was. Anyway, for me personally, I like the game, and it takes a lot of practice for me. So I'm going to practice at this until I get it down. Each car handles completely different from the previous car, or they all handle completely different. So there's that. What do I want to say? Line of difficulty. The learning experience. You're going to have to really learn what each car is going to do. And like you see, I'm going off track a little bit here and there. It just all depends on where you put that car, where you going with it. That's why I'm leaving the drive line on there, so I can see exactly where I'm supposed to brake and where I'm not to. But final thoughts, I really believe it's up to the player. I'm going to stick with it because I like racing, and I think it's going to be a really good game. After it's all said and done, they have improved it quite a bit from what I've seen. So that's kind of my final thoughts on it. I really think that it's going to be awesome. I'm going to stick with it, keep an eye on it, and be racing now and again, and try to get better. I'm going to break out my wheel and see if I can get it going, and maybe that'll even be a better thing. It is very wheel compatible. It will take G920, G29. It will take the Thrustmaster wheels, Fanatec. So you're pretty much covered when it comes to that. So if you like today's video, please leave a like. Greatly appreciate that, and maybe subscribe. It's always a good free way to support your streamers that you like and content creators that you like. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off for now, and thank you for stopping by. I will see you on the next one.